But you also
So
have to making it look good and it satisfying your taste buds being a non-vegan is really the trick. And it's hard because I mean, when I first went vegan, I couldn't stand nutritional yeast. I thought it was disgusting. There's quite a few things that I was like, this is just gross. And now those are things that I eat all the time. All the time. Love them. My taste buds changed. That's the harder part. Making it look nice and look good, that you can do, but the taste I'm just
yeah.
curious if you actually like the cinnamon bread. I'm confident is going to be delicious
Hmm.
because that's
Hmm.
very easy to veganize, that kind of stuff. But any of the where he's doing making in quotes meats or meat
Right.
like
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's delicious. I haven't made any of that stuff of his, but it's an art and it's very hard. I've tried many modified meat recipe
Mm-hmm.
and there's only like a couple that I even keep in the rotation, and I've tried so many.
He's got several out there with chickpeas as
Mhm.
the protein source,
Mhm.
and those look really tasty
Mhm.
too.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. And don't be
yeah.
frightened by the number of ingredients that are in vegan dishes because you've got to get it to taste good.
Hmm.
You've got to spice them up, and there's lots of ingredients. And most of them are normal things that you would have in your house. Some of them are specialty things, unless you're really going to go full bore. I wouldn't recommend wasting your money on that if you're only going to use it once. It's an art and not one that I have mastered after 8 years of
Mm.
being vegan.
I can't believe you've been that for 8 years.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
Uh, on his YouTube channel,
mhm,
he's got an intro type video too, where he talks about protein
mhm,
and how he gets his protein source, and
mhm.
that's real interesting also.
My big staples are extra firm tofu. I do a little bit with, I'm going to say soft tofu because for some reason it left my head what it's actually called. And making like cream, cheeses or
Oh
sauces or
yeah,
things
yeah.
like that. And beans are huge for
Hmm.
me. White beans, black beans, garbanzo beans, chickpeas. Those are my staples. I have other beans too, but those are my staples. I don't eat lentils as much as you would think being vegan that I do. I just don't gravitate towards them as much. And soy curls, the dehydrated soy, it's just dehydrated soy that you reconstitute, and that comes in
Mm.
strips, so it kind of gives you that chickeny kind of thing.
Ah,
Yeah, those are my big staples. One of the things that I buy frozen that I just love if I can find it is the Beyond Steak tips.
mm.
That is really
Okay.
good. I don't
Yeah.
really buy the Beyond Burger anymore. And the whole reason I went down that path, I still have a little bit in my freezer, but I don't buy it really anymore is because if I go out to eat with people who are not vegans, which is almost everybody that I hang out
Yeah. Yeah.
with, if we go to a restaurant, there's likely a Beyond Burger or an Impossible Burger or whatever on the menu. So I'm always like, if that's the only thing I can eat out, I'm
Yeah.
not going to also have it here. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yep.
if I want it, I can go to throw a rock to because people aren't super creative with the vegan options, and like I get it, not these restaurants aren't vegan. I totally understand. I'm not begrudging it. It's just, well, why am I buying Beyond Meat to do this at my own house when that's probably what I'm going to order when I go out anyway? So that's why I don't really buy that anymore. Yeah, but I try and stay away from too many of the processed things. I do every now and again buy just for convenience, but I do try and stay away from that as best I can. But I
Yeah.
love my Beyond Steak. That so good. I'll never be able to replicate that. I will not be able to do. I know I
Mm.
won't. So unless somebody tells me what the recipe is for it, and I have looked it up when I couldn't find it for the longest time, I was just like, somebody has got to have the recipe. The knockoff of Beyond Steak. I could not find one, and I'm like, ugh. I wish somebody would do it because I won't be able to do it myself.
Can you get that delivered from anywhere?
No, you can't. So the Safeway that I normally go to up in Idaho Springs doesn't carry it at all. I don't think they even have Beyond Burgers, to be honest with you. But it's a smaller chain grocery store. When I go down the hill, I can get it in the frozen section. It's just I like to get it from Costco because it's a bigger bag and it's much less expensive.
Hmm.
But if I buy it in the grocery store, it's like $10 for a smaller bag for
Mm.
one. So now I just buy it in moderation until Costco. And the next time Costco gets the one I want in stock, I'm going to stock up and just shove it all in the
Yeah,
freezer
yeah,
that's in the
yeah.
garage. But for now, I'm just kind of, all right, go easy on this stuff. But it's such a treat. Such a treat. So yeah, I'm not necessarily begrudging new vegans from trying all the wonderful foods they now make these days. A lot of them are processed. And if that's a way for you to make the shift, I'm all for it. But now that I've been vegan for as long as I have, I really do try to limit that a little bit. But it's a good way to ease you into it because the stuff you can buy in the store is the closest that you'll get to what tastes like what you remember from the meat products. So, and man, that Gardenia, I think is the name of the company, and they make fish, triangles of fish, fried fish in quotes. And I do buy that occasionally to make like fish tacos because I used to love freaking fish tacos. So I will buy that every now and again. But yeah, it's fewer and far between. When I first started, I bought that all the time. I also bought their meatballs, which were really good and all that kind of stuff. But now I'm just like, nope. You got to start making this stuff. You got to start using, the ingredients are good and going in and all that stuff. If we're going to do this long term, it's got to be a bit different from a life just eating frozen
Change your
stuff.
Palate.
Yes, exactly. So.
Well, the stuff he makes, I mean, I don't mind a burger, a real burger, like that one.
And
that one video you sent me, that burger that guy made.
I never thought of using the torch lighter to melt the cheese.
Yeah, me either.
Never saw that done. Never even entered my head to do that, that's another thing with vegan cheese, very hard to melt completely. But I was like, I don't have a torch. I never owned one, but I would, now that I saw that, I was like, now there's an idea. Anyway, sorry, you were saying.
Yeah. No, I like a burger. I like steak. I like meat stuff. But when I look at his recipes and a lot of others that I've seen out there, you don't need it to have flavor. That's the thing. And I do like the tofu stuff they come up with. I do like the chickpea stuff. It's just slowly, I've been doing more cooking over the years, and who knows, maybe 3 out of 7 days a week, I would do a vegan type thing. I don't know.
It's fun to learn the different cooking methods too, and the different ways that you can use products, like the wonders of cashews. Who the hell knew that the versatility of cashews in the vegan world? Never did I do anything even remotely like that before I was vegan. Cream cheeses, cheese sauces, blocks of cheese. I think it's a wonderful gravy. It's a recipe that, but I love it. And it's cashew based. When I make my zucchini soup that I freaking love, the creaminess comes from cashews.
Huh.
It's,
that's.
when I first read the very first recipe, I'll never forget. I'm like, cashews? What the hell? Why would I use that? And then I'm like, all right, I'll follow it. And I was like, holy shit. I had no idea that cashews did this.
You think of cashews as a nut that's crunchy and you don't think of it as a replacement for cheese or
it's incredible. It's very versatile. A lot of the nuts you can do that with. You can do it with almonds too. They're just more expensive, I think. And you got to get the ones that are blanched without the skins on if you want it to be white sauce or white cheese or whatever. Whereas cashews are white, so it's just easier to use them. But yeah, I'm like, who the hell knew? I had no idea. None.
Who knew?
Good one, Auntie Joan. I'm glad you liked watching some of his videos. Like I said, I've made a couple of his things over the past like year or so. Well, I haven't really been since we started the program because whenever we got onto Instagram, that's how I go to Instagram is through our account. So yeah, he's a good one. And I like the way he walks you through it too in the video. And yeah, I really enjoy his stuff. So good one.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Good one. Nard Dog Cooks. Check it out.
MakeItDairyFree.com.
That's
or
right.
YouTube.